Welcome to Compound Miter, the world's best source for information and tools available on how to install crown molding and trim.
Hi, I'm Wayne Drake, President of Compound Miter and author of Crown Molding and Trim, Install It Like a Pro. Over 350,000 copies have been sold since 2003. If you've ever tried to install crown molding and trim, you've probably discovered it's no easy task, especially for the beginner. Our easy-to-use crown molding and trim book, charts and tables, miter program, and true angle tools will save you the frustration of turning your expensive crown into firewood. We've developed an easy three-step method that will give you the perfect joint each and every time. Nothing you do will improve the appearance and the value of your home more than beautifully installed crown molding and trim. I'm going to show you just how easy it is and give you a few tips along the way that will make your crown molding project fun and easy.
Our second edition book contains over 400 color photographs and illustrations and over 24,000 miter and compound miter saw settings. This is the only textbook available anywhere that shows you how to easily cut any compound miter, plus unprecedented free tech support. Just call our toll-free number or email me direct and I will be glad to assist you. There are 3 simple steps involved. Step 1. Measure your corner angle. To use the true angle tool, set the blades at approximately the angle of the corner to be measured and tension the wing nuts so the blades will hold their place but still move. Then place each blade of the true angle tool against the 2 surfaces to be measured. Remove the true angle tool and read the corner angle directly on the tool. Step 2. Obtain your miter and bevel settings from the tables in the book. Step 3. Use the crown molding templates to provide an instant visual cue to set your saw to the miter and bevel setting obtained from Step 2. There are 8 types of crown molding cuts possible. Note the differences. For example, templates 1 and 2 represent all horizontal turn, inside corners, left hand and right hand cuts. These will be cut so the pointed end is at the bottom of the crown molding and you can see the saw cut surfaces. Keep the templates next to your saw and use them for every cut. The result is a perfect cut each and every time. There are 2 methods used to cut crown molding. To cut crown molding propped up, hold the bottom of the crown molding firm against the saw fence and let the top rest on the saw table. Use adjustable crown stops to hold your crown molding in this position while cutting. I prefer to cut crown molding laying flat and face up on the saw table because it's much easier. Never cut your crown molding face down. This is an end view of 3-inch nominal size 38-degree spring angle crown molding, which is approximately 2 3/4 inches wide. That means that the size of the crown and the spring angle vary depending on the manufacturer. To further illustrate this, here is an assortment of various pieces of 3-inch crown molding. Note the huge difference between 38-degree spring angle and 34-degree spring angle. Even the slightest difference in spring angle or size will show in the joint. To measure your crown molding spring angle, you carefully measure the bottom angle of the crown as shown, then subtract from 180 degrees. For example, if the bottom angle of the crown molding measures 142 degrees and subtracted from 180, you have 38-degree spring angle crown. Always measure your crown molding spring angle. You can also measure the crown molding spring angle directly with our spring angle tool. The crown molding shown here has a spring angle of 43 degrees.
Always take your measuring tape and your 7-inch true angle or your spring angle tool with you when buying your crown molding to make certain that all pieces are identical. You'll need to purchase about 10% more than the total wall length. Paint your crown or trim before you cut. When installed, you simply touch up and you're done.
Check the square of your saw before you begin. Make sure both sides of the saw blade are square with the saw table and the saw fence. All crown molding and trim joints are cut as mirror images of each other. A 1 degree out of square miter will result in a 1/4 inch gap when installing 5-inch crown molding. The wider the crown, the wider the gap. There are several ways to attach your crown molding. I prefer to use nailing strips or blocks. For 3-inch crown molding, you can cut 40 feet of nailing strips from a single 2x4. For 6-inch crown and larger, you should use nailing blocks. Draw a work plan layout of the room that includes corner numbers, corner angles, exact wall lengths, and all miter and bevel settings. This room has a horizontal ceiling with 8 corners consisting of inside and outside horizontal turns, including an outside bullnose corner. Keep your work plan at your saw for quick reference. A bullnose corner does not have a corner because of the radius, so make the bullnose centerpiece first and temporarily hold in place with double-sided foam tape while making your exact wall length measurements. Use a 1 to 2 foot long piece of your crown to place alignment marks on each side of each corner and every 3 to 4 feet along the wall. The alignment marks will serve as a guide during installation. All corner measurements and all exact wall length measurements should be made at the alignment mark locations. We are now ready to cut and install the crown molding. Let's cut the crown molding that goes from corner 8 to corner 1. Always cut one end of your crown first and then transfer the exact wall length to the bottom of the crown for the second cut. Use a hand spring clamp to hold the tape measure when working alone. Secure one end of the tape measure at 1 inch and add this to your wall length of 12 7/8. Mark the exact wall length on the bottom of your crown and extend to the bottom edge so you can see the mark when cutting. Always place a small X on the waist side of the cut line so you will not cut on the wrong side. We are now ready to cut the left-hand cut for corner 1. Template number 1 shows to rotate the miter counterclockwise and to tilt the blade to the left, as well as how to place your crown on your saw. From your work plan, set the miter at 14.3 degrees and the blade tilt at 17.6 degrees. Always cut with a laser curve on the waist side of the wall length mark. If you don't have a laser curve on your saw, you can make a simple guide to assist you. Cut a small piece of wood to match the height of the bottom edge of the crown and add center lines as shown. Hold your saw blade close to your crown so you can see that you will cut into the waist side, then make your first cut. Without moving your crown molding, place your cut guide on your saw and align the tool with the first cut. Hold the cut guide in place and slide your crown to align the wall length mark. You are now ready to remove the guide and make the perfect cut. Always let your saw blade cut very slow through your crown or trim. Stop the blade before raising the saw to prevent the blade from damaging the crown or trim pieces. Always glue each and every joint as you install to prevent any future separation. A properly mitered and glued joint will never separate and will not require any caulk. This is especially important when installing stain, crown, or trim. Miter clamps will hold your bullnose and outside corners tight while the glue dries. We've now completed our crown molding project. The miter clamps have been removed, nail holes have been spackled, and touch-up paint has been applied. When working on a cathedral or sloped ceiling, you will need to make horizontal, vertical, and sometimes ceiling turns. This ceiling slopes up at 20 degrees on both sides of the room. Joint A is a horizontal turn, joints B and C are vertical turns. In this example, we have a 40-degree slope stairway where the side and underside of the stairway is the wall. This is a horizontal crown return. You can also make vertical crown returns where the crown butts into the ceiling. You can cut the vertical turn to match the 40-degree slope stairway. If you would like to continue your crown molding around the room, make a 40-degree trim piece and attach it to the underside of the stairway. As I mentioned before, I provide free tech support. This plan view came from a customer that was having difficulty with a corner closet. The ceiling slopes up at 20 degrees on all 4 sides of the room to a horizontal ceiling. I constructed a model of his corner and installed the crown molding. Joint A is a horizontal turn, joints B and C are vertical turns, and joints D and E are ceiling turns. I provided all of this information to my customer and he installed it like a pro.
This is only part of what's in our crown molding and trim book, and if you have any questions or problems, contact me and I will be glad to assist you. Visit us online at compoundmiter.com and order the crown molding package that best fits your needs. We offer discounts up to 25% and 10 packages to choose from. Of course, all products can be ordered separately. There's nothing complicated about it. It's all in having the right tools and the information. So let's install some crown molding.